Welcome back to my channel. I know many companies don't like to invest in testing, but in my opinion, testing is a critical part of development. It helps you identify potential issues before they become bugs or lead to unmaintainable code. In this video, I'll show you how to write tests with Angular's dependency injection system. I am not a testing expert, so if you have tips or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. My name is Maxim Grom. This channel is about web development. Let's get started. What is a unit test? A unit test is a program that checks another program unit, for example, a component, service, or function. A unit under test may have many dependencies. To isolate the unit, we often use ngMocks, fake objects that stands in for real dependencies. I like using the ngMocks library. It's excellent for mocking in Angular. Let's jump into the code. I'm going to install it first. npm install ngMocks. Also, let's create a simple component to demonstrate. Then import the component in app component. And render it in app component HTML. We see the component was added. Now let's run the test. In package.json we have this command like ngTest or test script. We can run ngTest or we can do npm run test. Everything passes. We see 4 green tests. Now let's introduce a custom service and inject it into the foo component. The service is provided in root, so Angular injects it automatically. I need to inject it. Private foo service, inject foo service. Now we have the next chain. App component imports foo component as a component. Foo component injects foo service. Let's make it more complex. Inject HttpClient into foo service. I'm going to run tests again. All tests fail. Why? Because now we are running integration tests, not unit tests. Also, the app itself breaks because HttpClient isn't provided. Let's fix the application first. To the application config, I have added provideHttpClient. It must fix the injection issue. Now it works. That fixes the app, but not the test environment. We need to configure it too. See, we still have 5 failed tests. Even a small service change can break many integration tests. Let's isolate them to make them unit tests. So let's isolate app component from foo component. We only need mock component function in the imports, that's all. Mock component from ngMocks. Or mock components if you have many components, if you like to have one line for many components. And we need to mock foo component. And you see we have only 2 failed tests and 3 tests are passed. This replaces the real component with the dummy. If you test in component integration, use the real one instead. Now the app component test passes. Let's fix foo component next. It injects foo service and calls some of its methods. But if we don't need the full service, we can mock only what we need. With ngMocks, I can override just the necessary parts. With this simplified example, I don't need to override anything. What have I done? I provided the foo service as a mock. Second parameter of this function is an object. This object can override original methods. For example, if I need to override some method, I can write something like it. But I don't need to do it right now. It is out of scope of this video. Done, the service is mocked and tests are isolated. Only one failed test. And the last part to fix service. To mock HTTP client, we have Angular utilities for it. I need to provide HTTP client as regular in my modules. And next one, provide HTTP client testing to mock the HTTP client. Now the tests work again. Which method is best for you? It depends. This video isn't about testing best practices. It's about how to use the Angular dependency injection for testing. We've seen how powerful and easy mocking becomes with dependency injection. If your service has 500 lines of code, believe me, you'll need good test coverage. Testability gives you a reason to refactor, clean up logic, and simplify dependencies. I hope to create a full playlist about Angular testing. Who knows, maybe your subscription will encourage me. Previously, people often use new full service and manually inject dependencies. Let me show what I mean. To demonstrate it, I need to use a constructor injector. With constructor injector, I can replace this parameter in my tests. You see, with this approach, everything works the similar way. And it seems cleaner than using TestBed. But I now strongly recommend using TestBed for every unit test. Why? First one, you cannot mock inject call without TestBed. Another reason, Angular signals require DI context. It also will not work without TestBed. And next one, it supports configuration for unit and integration tests. Does Angular have a migration for it to move from this configuration to this configuration? No, Angular doesn't offer automatic migration, but it's worth doing. Let's summarize the lesson. Angular's dependency system is designed for testability. Angular has dedicated test tools for unit and integration tests. It is TestBed. Use TestBed to mock providers or configure the test environment. Use ngMocks third-party library to speed up mocking for components and services. Use Angular's built-in testing utilities for HttpClient. Use provideHttpClient and provideHttpClientTesting. At the end, I recommend migrating to TestBed and avoiding new operator in tests. TestBed is mandatory if you use inject function or signals. Add this to your backlog if you haven't already. This wasn't a deep dive into testing, but rather a guide to use Angular DI in your tests. If you'd like a deeper dive into testing strategies, let me know in the comments. I hope you found this video informative and interesting. Thank you for watching this playlist. See you in the next video. Bye.